Hi, welcome to this edition of Cuss N Discuss. I'm your host, Steve Cutie. Today's guest, Flynn Stewart and Ginger Duke. Today's topic is, I'm thinking of attending a college to learn how to train horses. What are your thoughts, Jen from West Virginia? So, that's a good one. There's lots of colleges for everything. So, let's see what we got going on. Who's first?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
There's our local college here, NCTC.
NCTC?
Yeah, NCT, North Central Texas College. They have a big horse program, and they're not really teaching you how to train a horse as much as they are teaching you how to take care of a horse. And down here in Texas, a lot of colleges do have programs like this. Texas Tech has one, I know. West Texas A&M has one. They can show you maybe how to train a horse. They can't teach you to train a horse. You know, that's just something you have to figure out on your own.
I think you had, Meredith Manor, Findlay. When you start looking back at the roots of how things were going, Dale Wilkinson,
Yes,
right? He did Findlay.
That's right.
And then,
I forgot about that.
So that was in the western aspect of it. I think there's William Woods. I get a lot of interns that want to come from there. I'm not sure exactly what their program is. There's a lot of schools out there that does it. The ranches, the schools that you're talking about around here are regular colleges that have a ranch horse team or a show horse team, and like the IEA stuff or the intercollegiate things. So there's that's addition to. And you can pick up. I guess they have horse business and things,
Sure.
but my thoughts, having been down a bunch of roads and having done clinics for the colleges and things like that, is that it's good to go and probably. If you go back and look at it hindsight-wise, I would probably have done it maybe like you did, right? Get a business degree and then go into horses, right? Because the hardest thing about horses is dealing with the money and the people,
Yes.
right? So if you know how to handle the money and make those dollars and cents work for you, then the horse training part becomes easy. Because when you don't understand the business part of it and the horse training part's easy, it's still an uphill battle.
That's right.
Right? If you know
That's
how
exactly
to
right.
pay the bills, then the horse training is easy because you have a little peace of mind because you're not wondering how to pay for all of the stuff. What do you think?
I feel like that's a touchy subject. I don't know.
That's what we're here for, right?
I know.
They're not paying us for our opinion.
I know.
We're giving it for free.
I don't want anyone to think I'm putting any programs down or anything like that. I've never been through one of those programs. I know Tarleton has an actual training program, but they don't take the horse and then go through the whole program. And so you can learn to start a colt that way, but how do you learn to finish a horse that way? So I feel like I definitely 100% agree. You need the business aspect of it, and definitely maybe look into the business degree part of it so you can deal with people and deal with the money. But for how expensive college is, I feel like there's so many opportunities that if you want to learn to really train, you could come be an intern and get, you can get paid while you're learning.
Yeah, for sure.
So it would be hard for me to want to go through a program that I'm having to pay an exorbitant amount of money. That's going to be really hard to pay back on the training aspect of it.
Right.
Versus a business degree, if you end up sucking in the horse industry, that degree you can fall back on and use in other areas or another business, so I'm more of an advocate of get a degree that you can fall back on and then go into the horse training. That way you've got a backup plan.
Right. It's being a horse trainer is not all the glamour and fun that it looks like.
No,
right?
that's right.
There's a lot of stress because I think I look damn good for 29. You know what I mean? It hasn't aged me a bit. Nor given me ulcers, shingles, a complex. The only thing I haven't
Wrinkles.
lost Yeah, the only thing I haven't lost was my hair, and that's a bonus.
That's good.
But I think along the lines that you said, right? I mean, if you go to these colleges, you get bits and pieces of a program, and if you're there for a semester or a quarter or however stuff gets divided up at the school that you're at, and horses get swapped in and out, like you don't really learn how to do one thing start to finish. And looking back at it, I mean, I might have done things differently, and we've had this discussion on topics before, but going to work for another trainer and learning another trainer's program, right? And not be the guy who jumps ship. Like, I mean, you're there for 6 months and you leave, right? Find somebody that you respect and admire and you want to learn their program, and go stay with them, and understand that you're not going to become rich overnight.
Yeah.
And they're not going to pay you a ton of money, but you are going to learn the skills that you need. And right, whether it is what to do or what not to do, you're still learning something. And when you understand how to do those, then you just kind of mold that into what kind of a business that you want. But if you go to a college and, whatever it costs to go to a 4-year college, just say that costs you $100,000. I have no idea, but just say that's what it costs you. When you come out, you still don't have a set training program that works. You still don't know how to make it in the horse biz, and now you have $100,000 in debt. Now,
right.
Maybe you got some grants and some things like that, but still, even if you have $50,000 in debt, that's a lot to have to start paying back.
Yes.
Coming out trying to make it in the horse business. So I would say, again, find the trainer whose program you respect, learn what it takes to make it go, understand the finances, and then try to go out on your own when you have a program. But think of it as when you go intern for somebody, think of it as a 4-year agreement, right? Like you would for your college, because there's going to be up and downs. There's going to be days, you're going to party and you don't want to get up the next morning and go to school, and you're going to be mad at the professor, and you're not going to be happy with your grades, and the people suck and everything else sucks. And that's the horse business in life, right?
Yeah.
And when you understand that part of it, it makes it easier to manage not making any money and having long hours doing those things, working for other trainers.
It's almost horse training, like if you go to like what we're talking about, it's almost like a trade school.
Mm-hmm. But when you come out, you get paid to work for those people. It may not be a ton of money, but nowadays, just say even if you got $250 a week, you're making $1,000 a month. Generally, you're going to get a place to live,
mm-hmm.
free rent, free utilities. You may have to feed yourself, but that's it. I promise you can survive on that, because if you truly want to make it in the horse business, you have to suck it up for 4 years and understand that it is a 5 to 9 job, not a 9 to 5 job. And you have to put the time in and understand how those things work. And there's going to be time to screw off later in life. But if you truly love horses and you want to learn, you have no problem spending the time to get to that position. Agree? But you don't have $50,000 in debt.
Yeah.
You may not have any money, but you didn't have any money when you were in school anyway.
Yeah.
And then you're still $50,000 in the hole. So at least you come out even.
Yeah.
And you have somebody's program, and generally if you've been in that program long enough, you're going to be able to have a few customers. You probably learn to show if that's what you want to do, or start colts. So you already have the starts of a business with relationships as far as customers and the feed store and where to get your hay and all these things that make all the pieces way easier when you do go out on your own.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't think that's ever changed, has it, Flynn? It's kind of been the same over the years?
It sure has. Now, some colleges, especially junior colleges or community colleges in Texas, their students will go to school in the morning, say, and then work on a ranch that afternoon, cleaning stalls or riding horses or whatever. But I don't think in college they can't really teach you to train the horse. I know in NCTC over at Gainesville, Kurt Donnelly was in charge.
Kurt used to be.
He used to
now,
be.
Now it's Kathy Luce.
Really? Well, Kurt Donnelly was in charge of that for years.
Right.
And I think he did a pretty good job getting students jobs with the ranchers around there and stuff. So.
I mean, you have to think, right? If you want to do the cowboy thing, if you want to look at it that way, right? When you go to work for a ranch, 4-6s, whatever it may be, and you want to play cowboy, I mean, you know, when you're driving herd and doing all that stuff, you're not riding the lead, right?
No.
You know, when you start out, you're riding in the back. What do they call it? The drag, right?
Yeah.
You're getting covered up with the shit and the dust and all the stuff that goes with it because that's where you rank, right? And as you get better and longer, you get up more towards the front,
Sure.
assuming you're smart enough to get there. But, you know, I mean, that's the same thing with it is in the horse biz, right? You got to understand how to do all the things at the lower level before you get to move up. And that's a lot of the things that get lost, in my opinion, when you go to a college or you learn to do these things, because the basic horsemanship skills are non-existent nowadays, right? Because everybody wants to be the guy with the cool stopping picture, the guy winning the fraternity and all the stuff. You know, nobody wants to be the guy that's shoveling shit, right? Picking feet, saddling horses. But everybody has started there. There's very few trainers who are at the top of it now that have just shown up there.
Oh yeah.
You know, that they've all been in those positions. They've just been around long enough that they finally made it to the top. So I hope that answers your questions on another semi-tough topic on whether you want to be a college student and learn how to train horses or just go to work for somebody and go through your college that way, like the School of Hard Knocks. You know, we can't make that decision for you. There's pros and cons to each of them, but you just got to be happy with your decision and just realize that either way, you're going to have a 4 or 5 year commitment, and you're going to have to spend time and money or both. And there's no way around those things because you're not going to get smart by reading a book on learning how to train horses. Agree?
Agreed.
Yep. Do your research.
So-
Talk to people. Talk to people that have done both programs.
Right? And, right? As we always say, I mean, if you think we're wrong, you disagree, you agree. If you've been to a college that has a horse training program, then be sure and let us know. Put it in the comments below and say, hey, you know, I went to this school and I loved it, or hey, I went to this school and it was the worst decision of my life, whatever it may be. Just let us know what you think, and you know, I mean, that's how we open it up. If you got any good ideas for new topics for upcoming shows, be sure and leave those in the comments as well. Be sure and like and share us on all the social media platforms. And as always, for Ginger Duke, Flynn Stewart, I'm Steve Cutie with
Cuss and Discuss.
That's terrible. That's been a long day. I'll catch you on the flip flop.